Alright, this clock we got it to work by putting the clips on. But let's assume that that didn't work for you, that your clock still will not animate, that the tail doesn't wag, eye don't roll, it still just stays dead there. It did wag though when the eyes were connected. We proved that before. So that must mean there's more going on with the eyes creating friction than just those clips missing. And you may have clips on your eyes also. They may not be missing. And still, disconnecting the eye stems didn't solve your trouble. You will have occasions where you can disconnect both eyes. We'll get into that here, a scenario where you disconnect both eyes, the tail wags just great. That's good. That means we got full power, but the eyes are in trouble. Now we want to isolate which eye is giving the trouble. That goes back again by only connecting up one eye stem at a time. We use the process of elimination here to see if we can figure out which eye. So put one eye stem back through the inside slot and start wagging again. It may wag, that's good. Alright, that says that eye is okay. Let's try the other one. And you do it, and you try the other eye, and it works. And then you go back, continuing on here with processes, that you connect both eye stems back up to the pendulum, and now it stops. It does not wag when both eyes are connected, but it will wag when only one eye is connected. What is going on? Well, it's either one of two things. We got a power problem with the movement here is getting low power, or it's still one of these eyes, or it could be both. Well, I'm going to assume that's still the eyes, and I'm going to go deeper into troubleshooting these eyes than just taking the clips off. I'm going to actually remove the eye out of the clock to be sure we're getting fully in there to remove anything that would cause friction. Not only missing clips can do it, but if there's a slight accumulation of some dust over the years, which happens a lot, clocks that are 5 or 6 years old or more happen to collect just enough dust in the pivot hole, this bottom eyeball here, that will stop the animation. The only way you can really clear that out is to remove that clip, blow in there real good, and put the clip back on. Also, removing the eye is another way. So I'm going to show you how to pop this eye out. Firstly, you should have the stems out of the slots. That gives you better access. I'll move that stem over to the side here. To get the eye out, all you're going to do is compress the eye downward from the top. You'll notice there's a small pin on the bottom holding that eye in that clock. There's one on top. If we expose that top pin by putting a finger on inside, one on the outside, squeezing that clock eye down, it'll come out of the back of the clock, and we have it out. What we want to examine here now is make sure these pins, the one on the top and the one on the bottom, are nice, smooth, and rounded, that there's no bentness to them, they're not appear to be broken. That looks good. What you want to do then is clear out that little hole in there. I would get a toothpick once we get that clip off and put it down in there and ream that hole out in that bottom shelf. You also stick it into the top. That will normally make sure that everything is clear. And then put these eyes back in. Now another caution I give you is do not remove both eyes at the same time. These eyes are configured slightly differently for right versus left. There is no R or L marking on them, and you can see that sometimes these are a little hard to get back in. All you got to do is get the right leverage though with your fingers. Squeeze it down, you get the clearance, the eye is now back in. Once you've done both of these eyes, taking them in and out, and your clock still will not animate, and say you've done all that, and you still can't get the tail to wag, now you're back to an issue usually with the movement itself. There is something that is preventing good power coming out of this unit. Could be loose batteries. Go back to your battery test before, and if you've got loose batteries, one of them falls out, that can prevent an animation issue. And this is where I'm going to show you how to tighten a loose battery.